Hello, 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 my friends. Yes, it is time for another episode of Stroll with Rosa, and this one is Thanksgiving in July. You heard me, Thanksgiving in July. What we're going to do today is we are going to start right now, and we are going to walk the Manchester Road Race here in Manchester, Connecticut. Now, if you don't know about the Manchester Road Race, I can promise you, my friends, that you are definitely missing out. We just started on the start line right now, and we are heading down Main Street in Manchester, Connecticut, towards Charter Oak Street. Now, this Manchester Road Race, not only am I going to explain to you the history and tell you a little bit about it, but don't forget, my friends, we have a couple of goals in mind. One of the goals is on this Stroll with Rosa, is we got to get our 10,000 steps in. Okay, so we're going to be working on getting these 10,000 steps in. So it's time to get up and get rolling. The other goal is that I have tons and tons of info, real estate data, real estate statistics about what is going on here in Manchester, Connecticut. Now, I've run this Manchester Road Race on Thanksgiving probably about 6 or 7 times. Kind of forgot. The first time I ran it was probably like 1988 or something like that. And usually at this point right here there's thousands and thousands of people. Usually at this point. Now, the Manchester Road Race is 4.748 miles. It is a lot of fun. There's thousands of people that come from all over Connecticut, New England to run it, even all over the world. And so where we are now is we are right on the corner of Main Street and Charter Oak Street. So we take a left. This is the actual course. This is where things maybe start spreading out just a little bit, but not yet, because we have to get to Heartbreak Hill. And when we get to Heartbreak Hill, my friends, one of the things you're going to notice is I'm going to be breathing a little bit heavier. Right across from me are soccer fields. This is the beginning or a section of Charter Oak Park. Manchester is really great because there are a lot of parks throughout Manchester. We're going to talk about some of the real estate statistics, some of the things about the town. But before we really get into that, because I know that's some excellent data we want to share with you, is again, we're going to get back to this Manchester Road Race. Now, when we think about, well, what does the Manchester Road Race benefit? Right now, they donate all their proceeds to the muscular dystrophy research, okay? Usually, and I guess there's about 18 other local charities that they also help. Usually, the race will begin right at 10 a.m. promptly, right? And the first Manchester Road Race was run in 1927. That's right, internationally recognized race since 1927. The very first race, there were about 12 people that ran in it, which I thought that was kind of interesting when I said, you know what, let me learn more about it. You know, I grew up one town over from here, and East Hartford, right? But the Manchester Road Race has always been a lot of fun to be a part of. It's something that many of us around Thanksgiving look forward to. All right. So we're at the very beginning stages of this course. Right now we're going to walk. Today we're going to walk the entire course of the Manchester Road Race. I'm going to share with you a lot of different things that I remember over these races, right? So the race was conceived and promoted by the captain of the Manchester High School cross-country team. His name was Frank Duke Heriberta, and he completed and placed second in the inaugural race. The race continued annually until 1934, when the economic crisis during the Great Depression resulted in the race's cancellation, and it wasn't held for 10 years. But they began running it again from 1945 to 2019, and then again resumed in 2021. Right now, they're usually attracting more than 6,000 participants, okay? And they are the third largest race in New England and in the top 25 largest distance races in the country. So I think that's kind of interesting. All right, so right across the street from me over here, there's Charter Oak Park. You know, it's a lot of fun over there because they do have some basketball courts with lights, right? They have a softball field, they have a baseball field, they have a soccer field, and all that kind of good stuff. I've actually, in the past few years, I've owned a lot of investment properties in Manchester. And usually you're able, from a real estate point of view, you're able to attract some pretty good tenants here in Manchester. We're going to talk a little bit about the schools. We're going to talk a little bit about the stats. We're going to talk a little bit about the cool motorcycles. All right, all right. So for those of you that know about Manchester, the Manchester Road Race, here we are walking down Charter Oak Street. Here's actually a property that I owned at one time, right? 4 units, right? Beautiful multi-family property. Sold that quite a few years ago. Did pretty well on that one, thank God. But for those of you that know, as we're walking up Charter Oak Street, we're coming up to the Spruce Street intersection, and a couple of doors down is the Hungry Tiger, right? Now the Hungry Tiger is definitely a fun place to be on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Thursday nights. If you ever want to go see a local band, you want to be able to enjoy yourself. I'm just getting through this intersection. You want to be able to enjoy yourself, have a couple of beverages, or maybe even have an excellent cheeseburger. They have craft beers there. They have live music. It's really cool because they also have a patio there. So there's dining right in the front. They have happy hour specials. So this is one of the places that we have actually spent a lot of time on. Now, if you try to get into this place, right here, Hungry Tiger, you can see it right behind me. If you try to get into this place on Thanksgiving, you might as well forget it, my friends, because it is going to be packed. So just to give you a better view of the place, all right, that right there is the old Hungry Tiger. So what we're doing, once again, is we're walking up Charter Oak Street. What's nice about Charter Oak Street, you're going to notice, is that there's quite a few different types of homes. Again, many of these kind of have like that village feel, but there are also some farm homes. There are also some old business buildings and so forth. So at this point for the Manchester Road Race, right now, we are still at the first mile. And what usually I see happens here, remember the roads are closed at this point and during Thanksgiving. And so of course we're running down this road and there's a lot of people that are trying to, beat their personal records or beat their friends. So they're running along the sides. They might be running on this sidewalk, but this road is packed. People at this point are still laughing and talking. They're not really huffing and puffing yet. Might have just ran or jogged. If you're in my case, it would be called jogging, right? But you might have just run by the Hungry Tiger and heard a band playing. And who knows, you might even stop for a quick shot. I mean, that's how much fun this is. And the seriousness of this wonderful road race, this 4.748 miles, has not really kicked in yet. Once we get about a mile up the road here, which we're on our way, we're going to see how serious it gets. Now, earlier I had mentioned about 6,000 people. That was back in the older days. I want to just kind of set the record straight. They actually had a registration of over 15,000 people at one time. So they might average anywhere between 10 and 15,000 people. I don't have the latest registration numbers. And I don't really look at my ranking. But of course, if you want to be that person to go online and look at your ranking, you can do that. I haven't run it for quite a few years, right? You can see here, this is another entrance to Charter Oak Park here in Manchester, all right? But what we're doing right now, if you've just joined us, what we're doing is we are walking the course. We're strolling, right? We're strolling the course. It's Thanksgiving in July for the Manchester Road Race. And I'm Rosa. I'm here to help you with real estate every step of the way. There's a nice street up that way called Phillip Road. Once again, a nice mix of single family homes and so forth. Right, a couple of multi-families and that sort of thing. And we started the race right in downtown Manchester, right on Main Street. And where we're walking now is we're walking up to the Highland Park Market, or the Highland area. Highland Park. It's such an absolutely beautiful area. Wonderful homes, really nice neighborhoods. Most of the homes are single family, and you really do have some of these kind of little mansions of older days, and then you also have some beautiful split levels and colonial homes and so forth throughout that area. Now, usually, as we're going through this Manchester road race, you know, it's a lot of fun, and there's actually some people that they wear costumes, right? And they might even enter into a competition to see who has the best costume that year. Some of the ones that we always see the guys, the Blues Brothers, right? Those are cool. You're gonna see a Superman, and of course, the number one thing that you're gonna see is Safety Man. Safety Man is this guy, I don't know his name, okay? But he's that guy that he's gonna be telling people, hey, be careful here. He's gonna be making sure that the crowd's staying back, and he's Safety Guy, or Safety Man. And he's just, you know, jogging, running throughout the whole course, making sure that there's safety, which is kind of fun. You know, it's a little bit of a joke, but it's also for real too, right? So we're in the first mile or so of the Manchester Road Race. We're doing our stroll over the course of the 4.784 miles. Might not sound like a lot, my friends, but I can promise you, 84 miles might not sound like a lot, my friends, but I can promise you, given because it's the long weekend and you want to have a good time, well, you might be feeling it at this point just a little bit. You're not giving up, right? You're not saying you can't do it, but now you know it's for real. Okay? To my right here, complex over here called the Villager. Really not a bad place to live. Townhouse style homes. Okay, many of those, I believe most of them are 2-bedroom here in Manchester, Connecticut. Now, while we're talking a little bit about Manchester, let's go over some basics about real estate data and the town. So Manchester, Connecticut, if you don't know where it is, it's really kind of like the north central part of the state. So if you see Hartford, go to the east, across the river to East Hartford on a map, and then the next town over would be Manchester. Okay, north central part of the state. A lot of recreation here. You know, when we talk about, they have some great restaurants right there on Main Street in Manchester. Now you see this incline. It's getting to be a little bit more. We're on our second mile out of the 4.748 miles. You know, they promote a lot of activities on Main Street in Manchester. There's a couple of great pizza places. There's a couple of great, at least, you know me, that's what I look for, okay? But, you know, there's a couple of really fun breweries in Manchester, or there's probably more than a couple, but in the Main Street area. And there's some shopping there as well. And we're not far from the Buckland Hills Mall either, if you're a mall shopper. Again, to my right, there's more condos and apartments. These are called the Huntington Commons. Okay. To my left, you're gonna see there's single family homes, and behind those homes are neighborhoods. And the neighborhood that we're mostly getting into right now is the Highland Park neighborhood. All right. So when you stroll around Manchester like we're doing right now, my friends, right, what you're going to find is that there's a lot of history here. There's about 60,000 people, give or take a couple, right, that live in Manchester. If you look back at Manchester's history, what you're going to find is that there's a lot of mills. There's old mills in town. Silk City. I think that was one of the nicknames that Manchester had, because they had a lot of mills that made silk. All right, it was more of like a blue collar industrial community, right? So that's one of the things too. Now, when we talk about schools, there's a lot of public schools, there's private schools, there's a lot of historical sites, libraries, and there's even a place which maybe one day we're going to do a stroll through called Wickham Park, right, which is right on the East Hartford Manchester line, so we can talk a little bit about that. And there's so many different places where you can go hiking. There's water views, there's Case Mountain, there's plenty of shopping and so forth. So what's the average home price in Manchester, Connecticut? So when we talk now, this is the corner of Autumn Street and Charter Oak. Okay, you can see we're pretty much here at the beginning stages of Heartbreak Hill. This about 1 mile trek feels like it goes on forever. Especially it's that morning of Thanksgiving. You're excited, you're ready to roll, and you're walking up this incline, or you know, we're strolling up it right now, but you're jogging up it. And you're talking to your friend, and your friend doesn't want to stop talking, and you're like, man, I just need to take my breath. I gotta go to my grandmother's house for dinner today. I hope I can make it, because this hill is starting to get to me, all right? So that's the whole point of it. But we talked a little bit about real estate. We were getting on that point. So as of July 2024, actually June 2024, the average home price in Manchester, $297,957. $297,957. $957. Now you might think, oh my gosh, the home prices are so low. Well, remember, this number includes condos. This number includes mobile homes. This number includes short sales, foreclosures, and even luxury homes that have sold. And when I tell you, one day we'll do a stroll through a couple of neighborhoods, there are plenty of beautiful luxury homes in Manchester that have history behind them, if that's something that you want, right? And there's also some newer neighborhoods in Manchester, Connecticut that are gorgeous. One of the things I love about this course, remember, we're strolling the course of the Manchester Road Race. It's Thanksgiving in July, and you can hear it in my voice. So one of the things I love is this area right here, because it kind of feels that it's leveling out just a little bit, right? Not for long, because we got the second half of this hill, but for this few minutes, it's starting to level out. And as you look to your right here, that yellow sign, you see the fire truck, so you're like, oh, thank God. If I have a problem over here, at least I got a fireman who can help me out, hopefully, or a firewoman, right? Fire person who can help me out. All right. So we talked about the average home price being $297, $957, but that includes all kinds of different things. It's kind of like when someone asks me, hey Rob, how's the market? Well, it's almost like, what real estate market are you asking about? What real estate market are you asking about? What town, what neighborhood, what street? What type of home? Are you asking about multifamilies here in Manchester? I can let you know how that's doing. Are you asking about commercial? Are you asking about luxury condos? Are you asking about active 55 plus? Right? There's all different kinds of homes, and that number includes everything. The same thing when we talk about the average time to sell a house in Manchester. So right now, the national average, at least for June, is 44 days. And what we mean by that is that's from the day it goes on the market, let's say in the multiple listing service, until the day it closes. If someone was to do a coming soon, like let's say they say, well, I want to advertise my home as coming soon. I want to put it in the market with a realtor, and it's going to be put on the MLS for 7 days, and then we're going to start showing it. Well, one of the things I can tell you is that coming soon counts. Those days count. So here we are in Manchester. Manchester has a paid fire department, and then they also do have volunteer fire departments. This one right here is fire station number 4. We're on Charter Oak Street in Manchester, and we're on the course. We're strolling the course of the Manchester Road Race. And let me tell you something, my friends. It's 4.784 miles of basically pure fun and a little bit of heartache if you didn't do some training. So if you notice, I'm kind of doing a stroll right now. You don't see me jogging it. You don't see me running it. We're getting ourselves prepared just a little bit, but we're doing a stroll. To my right here is the Beechwood Condo Association. Most of these are townhouse styles, right? Most of them are 2 bedrooms. And what I like about them is that they have their own entrance, right? The parking is right in the beginning. I mean, right in front of them. And they have their own entrance, front and back. Now, here we're walking backwards. Wow, I can do this. This is pretty cool. But you can see here, we're walking uphill, my friends. I'm getting my calves pumped up. Remember, one of the rules of Stroll with Rosa is we got to get out there. We got to get on our feet. And we need to do our 10,000 steps. Over here is a church, the Plymouth Brethren Christian Church. There's quite a few different churches, synagogues, worshiping centers here in Manchester. All right. Where my guesstimate is we're about halfway through the second mile. So we've done about a mile and a half so far of the 4.784 miles. You know, here, Thanksgiving in July. Temperature is quite a lot different than if we were walking this thing in November or jogging it. I mean, right now, we're definitely in the high 80s with a pretty good amount of humidity. But I've run this thing where it's been 60 degrees, and I've run this where it's been 20 something degrees. I've run it where it's been sunny and cold and crisp. And then I've run it when there's been ice and snow. But it still is a lot of fun regardless. All right, so here is the second incline of Heartbreak Hill for the Manchester Road Race, 4.784 miles. And this is where we're starting to get into Highland Park area. Right now we're walking down or up Charter Oak Street. Parallel to me, to my right, is Route 384. Okay. Where that could bring you right into Hartford, you know, 384 to 84 pretty darn quick. You're probably talking only like 5 miles. Pretty fast. Or it could bring to Yukon. And you probably can get there in, you know, from 384 to 44. You probably can get there in 15, 20 minutes from here. One of the cool things is that there's also a bike route. Right, so you can see here, we have a bike route here. All right, I'm gonna start doing a little bit jogging over here really quick. To my left, you see now it turned into Highland Street. Charter Oak Street turned into Highland. And that neighborhood there, Candlewood Drive, a bunch of absolutely beautiful single family homes. I sold a couple in there. Most of them probably built between the 1960s, 1970s. All right, and gorgeous area, easy to get to, close to shopping, close to restaurants, close to downtown. All right, but still feels like you have your own area there. All right. Well, here's the second incline, my friends. At this point, this is where everything starts spreading out. Right? When we think about, okay, in the beginning of the race, you have to be careful every little step you take that you don't walk over someone else. You know, you have to make sure you're watching every little step, because you'll bump into somebody and you can have a big wipeout. But over here, starting to spread out. If you look at that sign, what do you see? Caution, joggers on road. You know, right now, today, I'm out here, and there's quite a few people looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? Doesn't he know how hot it is? Is he crazy? But if you come driving around here in September and October on the weekend, you're gonna see joggers. You're gonna see people getting ready for this wonderful Manchester road race, held every Thanksgiving, 10 a.m. sharp. People from all over the world. Internationally recognized race. You can see there, this is where we came from. All right, to my right, once again, is the bike trail. Probably a lot of people jogging there as well. But that's a bike trail. And we still got an incline. This is our second incline of Heartbreak Hill. This is when it's that Thanksgiving Day morning and you thought you were going to do a fun race, and it is fun, don't get me wrong, but you're in the middle of this hill and you have that buddy next to you that's smiling. He's been training, he's been eating all the right stuff, and I had a meatball grinder for dinner, all right? And I'm like, man, I should have trained a little bit more. Maybe I should have took this a little bit more seriously. Now up here on my left, what I'm coming up to is Highland Park Market. Highland Park Market, great place. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience. There's a couple of them out there here in Connecticut. I think every single time I've gone in there, you know, they have wonderful foods that are already prepped, great produce that's local, that you just feel like you can trust. The meats, absolutely excellent. Pretty good variety of different products, and the service, right? They seem to be always happy to help you. Ready and willing to pack your bags, even helping you carry out your groceries to your car if you need to. So it's always been a pretty great experience with them. So you see now at this point, during the Manchester Road race on Thanksgiving, you're feeling okay. You're like, oh, we just got through that hill. But you look ahead a little bit and you say, oh, here we go. We got another incline to get through. All right. And as you're walking this, you know, you might see one of the fun things is there's plenty of refreshment stations. There's bands playing. Maybe you got your first glimpse of Safety Man. Okay, that's ready to help you out every step of the way. And I'm actually going to take a little detour up here. I'm going to get on the bike trail because I want to show you this cool statue. This cool statue that they put together. But right here, once again on the other side of the street, Highland Park Market, family owned since 1886. Again, we are coming up on finishing. I know you're excited about it because I am, my friends, on the Manchester Road Race course, Thanksgiving in July. Well, guess what? If you look at that blue line, what that is telling you is that we just finished our second mile. So now we're starting the third mile, and right here is a cool statue. This is of Joe McCluskey. He was born in 1911, passed away in 2002. Manchester's greatest runner, Olympic bronze medalist, 1932. Four-time Manchester Road Race champion, winner of 27 national titles. And he is in the USA Track and Field Hall of Fame records. I guess one of his quotes was, "A race only has one finish line." So look at how cool that is, right? This is right where we are right now. We're just over mile number 2 of the Manchester Road Race Stroll with Rosa edition. And we're doing Thanksgiving in July, my friends. In fact, you know, one of the things I might do right after this, I might go get myself a turkey grinder. For those of you who don't know grinders, I guess I should say turkey sub or a turkey sandwich. And that way I can feel like I really just had, I still got a long way to go though, but I can, after I'm done with this, I can feel like I just had Thanksgiving in July. Where we are now, we just went over the second mile line We're on Spring Street and Highland Street, and we still have an incline to go. All right, so we're gonna try to get through this intersection without having any major issues. Okay, so that I'll still be able to keep on going, my friends. Over there, there's a cool little sign. I know you probably can't see it, but there's an open house, Berkshire Hathaway. That's the real estate company that I am affiliated with. I'm a real estate broker over 24 years. And I partner with Berkshire Hathaway to use their systems, their technology. And I have an award-winning team with them. All right. So here is another incline, and at this point you might be on your own in the race. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some running clubs or friendships or cliques that they're still running together, and they're always looking for that person who's fallen behind and stick with them. But a lot of times, like I said, I've run this about 7-8 times, or 6 or 7 times. I don't think it's been 8. At this point, I'm by myself, because either I have a son, which I have quite a few sons, but at this point I've had sons that are like, "Hey Dad, I hope you're not going to be mad at me, but I want to go as fast as I can." And I'm like, "No problem, bud. I'll see you at the finish line." And then I will also have a friend or a son that will be like, "Can you slow down a little bit? Why are you going so fast?" And so sometimes I'll try to slow down. Or they'll be like, "Just go ahead on your own." So that's cool too. But we are in the beginnings of the 3rd mile at this point. For those of you who are interested in running the Manchester Road Race at this time, hopefully you got yourself a little bit of water, right? You're still pushing strong. You're realizing that you really just need to get through this final incline. I mean, there's another little one too, but you just need to get through this. We're getting towards, we're 80%, 85% through Heartbreak Hill, my friends, right? And where we really are is we're getting close to the Bolton line. So if you're like, "Well, Rob, I don't understand, where are you?" Well, we were on Main Street. We took a left on Charter Oak Street. Charter Oak Street turned into Highland Street. All right. And we're going up Highland Street, really towards the Bolton line. And then up here, we're going to take a left. All right. On my right, once again, you have the bike trail over there. You have 384 there. And you're like, "Oh, I see light at the end of the tunnel. I cannot wait until I take a left." Because when you take a left, you're going to be in a beautiful neighborhood of some mini mansions, right? Some very large old homes, stately homes, right? That have beautiful millwork inside some of these homes. They have attached and detached garages. They have long, winding driveways. Right, they're absolutely gorgeous. All right. Well, right now, what is the number as of today, July 20th, which is my father's 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. I'm going to celebrate this evening. July 20th, there's 48 active homes for sale in Manchester. Oh, Rob, that's not true. That's a lot more than I thought. Well, once again, my friends, this includes everything. Active homes. This includes rentals. This includes multifamilies. This includes mobile homes. This includes everything. Okay, how many homes have sold over the last 12 months in Manchester? Well, the answer is 518 homes sold in Manchester over the last 12 months. Okay. All right, my friends. Well, here we are in the Stroll. If you're just joining us, we're on a 4.784 mile trek. It is Thanksgiving in July. We are running the Manchester Road Race, traditionally held on Thanksgiving Day in Manchester, Connecticut, starting at 10 a.m. every year. And at this point, hey, thank you so much for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. To my dad, that's very nice of you. Yes, it is nice and green. Now we're gonna get ready to take a left here on Porter Street. But before we do that, I think this is something that's really, really cool. Because this is kind of like a little sitting area, a little an information booth about the East Coast Greenway. So look at how cool this is. What it's telling me is at the top there, East Coast Greenway. If you go left, keep on going where we were going, you're talking 670 miles to Canada. And if you go to the right, go back to where we came from, 2,200 miles to Key West. So what this East Coast Greenway really does is it links cities all along the East Coast of the United States. And it has all these different segments. So you can see like right here, here we are in Manchester. And if you follow the East Coast Greenway, let's say south, Hartford, Middletown, New Haven, Bridgeport, Norwalk, you're gonna head down to right through New York City. And then, so there's all these different segments of the East Coast Greenway, right? Just the area through Connecticut is 195 miles. Right, and there it is. You can see here it would start up there in Putnam and then go down through Willimantic, Manchester, where we are right now, and like we said, showing you go all the way down south. So I think it's really cool. I'm that person that I love to look at maps. Yes, I am weird, but I love to look at maps and figure out, wow, could I really walk? Could I take a stroll from my hometown in East Hartford, Connecticut? Could I take a stroll down to Key West? How cool would that be? Or maybe I would even drive up to Maine at the very beginning. Well, I guess it goes into Canada, but I would drive up into Maine at the very northern part of the United States of the East Coast Greenway and walk to the most southern point on Key West. And that would be a pretty interesting stroll with Rosa. Now, if you're running this Manchester Road Race right now, you're on a decline. You haven't had a decline yet. And you're like, wow. And this is the point where I can tell you, my friends, I loosen up my legs. And I'm doing that right now, right? I'm taking the largest stride that I can. I'm taking a little extra breath. For years and years, I had a cousin whose family lived on one of these houses to the right, and they would have some refreshments sitting here waiting for me. Yeah, I might take a peppermint schnapps in the middle of the race. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? Or a little quick shot of Johnny Walker and some water, but I know, doctors tell you don't do that. That's not healthy, that's not smart, but I like to have fun. At the same time, if it's one of those hot days like today, look at how beautiful the shade is. And look at that sign. This is telling you where we're going. Okay, we're going down Porter Street, and we're not going to be able to see a lot of these homes. But once again, as I told you, there's some long, winding driveways. Absolutely beautiful area. Gorgeous homes behind there. All right. We're towards the middle almost of the third mile, right? Remember, there's 4.784 miles to do on this Manchester road race here on Thanksgiving Day. We're doing July. We're doing Thanksgiving in July. And instead of running it, we're gonna stroll with Rosa. Okay, look at how beautiful the land is around here. Once again, a long, winding driveway. You get glimpses. You just get glimpses of the absolutely gorgeous homes in the area. The woods are thick. There's plenty of ferns out there, gorgeous trees, a mix of birch trees and maple trees and oak trees. I don't know if there's some sycamore trees out there, but I definitely know we have plenty of oak, we have plenty of birch, we have plenty of maple. We have plenty of pine trees out there. How gorgeous. And you know, somewhere along this area here, you're gonna see that there'll be maybe a band to the left here, and they'll be having some music playing, and you're coming down this hill, and at this point, my friends, you're feeling pretty darn good because your body is warmed up. It's a cold Thanksgiving Day morning. Your body's warmed up. You're in a good little pace. Right? And you're just feeling good about the whole thing. And you're like, man, I'm so happy I did this. But you still haven't finished this 3rd mile yet. And remember, you do have 4.784 miles to go. And you might start thinking about, wow, I'm a little bit hungry. I can't wait till I have grandma's turkey this afternoon for Thanksgiving. All right. And so it's a nice pace though. Hey, you're welcome for the tour anytime. I'm actually really enjoying it, and I appreciate your likes and shares. And you know, one of the things is not only do we want to have this tour of you know, strolling through the race, because maybe you want to do it this Thanksgiving. Look it up, manchesterroadrace.com. Once again, that's manchesterroadrace.com. Look it up. Maybe I'll see you on Thanksgiving, and you can say hello to me that you saw the video. At the same time, giving you some real estate information about Manchester, right? So like we talked about, on average, homes are selling for 31 days on the market. And this, my friends, is up. Okay, this is up 11% when we talk about the price, right? Which is homes for sale right now have an average home price of $297,957. They're selling for $303,693, and this is up 11% from the previous year. So depending where you are in the country, you might be like, oh, the real estate market's going down, it's falling apart. Well, I can promise you that right now, as of today, it's not falling apart in Connecticut. We don't have enough homes on the market. I showed a couple of homes this morning. Both of those homes are already having over 30 showings in the first 2-3 days. The listing agents are expecting quite a few offers. And so in a couple of those cases, like in one of them in particular, my buyer is going to have to offer close to 50. So the home is listed for $395. They're going to have to offer close to $50,000 more to be in the running for that home. So again, we're on the 3rd mile of the Manchester Road Race, Thanksgiving in July, stroll with Rosa, right? We're coming down a decline here, which is really kind of fun, enjoyable. The homes have long, winding driveways. You can see that's where we just came from. And you're feeling it, you're feeling good, but you're like, wow, how much longer am I gonna go downhill? Well, I could tell you, I think it goes downhill for a solid 3/4 of a mile. Never really measured it. Some of you might be experts on the Manchester Road Race, and you want to correct me pretty quick, and that's okay with me. I don't mind, I'll take the constructive comments, but it's an excellent race to run. You know, I never really worked hard on my personal best. But you know, there are people who are running 6-7 minute miles. That's not me. You know, I'm that person. If you give me some Oreos and some water, I can jog/run all day long. Just keep giving me some Oreos and water. But I'm not gonna be the fastest, but I can run it. I've run 3 marathons. It's been quite a while. I've run 8 half marathons. It's been quite a while. I've run quite a few 5Ks, 10Ks, and then also I've run this Manchester Road Race, I believe 6 or 7 times. I was looking at my t-shirts, and because I wanted to put on a t-shirt for this Stroll with Rosa that said Manchester Road Race. But what I found out is that the majority of them are long sleeve. So you see right here, we're at the corner of Porter and Willis Street. But we're gonna keep on going down Porter. All right, my friends. We're gonna keep on going down here. And you know what, once again, there's some gorgeous colonial homes. There's quite a few capes, right? And the majority of these are single family homes. There's some gorgeous homes set way back with some metal gates and so forth. There's condominium complexes, a couple of them down here. So there's quite a few different types of housing. But regardless of which one you decide to pick over here, you're gonna notice that it has that classic colonial feel, stately, respectable feeling. Like this one right here has the stonework in the front, right? Absolute gorgeous stonework. The huge center chimney, right? Really nice. And we're still going downhill. Okay, we're still going downhill. All right. Well, we're getting there. We're gonna be hopefully finishing this 3rd mile pretty soon. Just to give you a little bit more information on Manchester. We talked a lot about, okay, what are homes selling for how much, right? We talked about the values are up 11% from last year. Well, what's the average price per square foot? Once again, you might not think this number is high, but this includes everything. This includes single family homes, mobile homes, condos, mansions. So the average is $208 per square foot right now. Okay, $208 per square foot. I can tell you that most of the time, if you have a home, I could pretty much promise you. We're at the corner right here of Porter Street and Butternut Street, just in case you wanted to know where we're at. But I can almost promise you that if you had a home in this location that's in good condition, that's promoted correctly, you know, you can get upwards of $275 per square foot. And you see, it kind of just changed right here, where now all of a sudden on Porter Street we have a sidewalk. And why do we have a sidewalk? Because coming straight up ahead is a school. Now, once again, there's quite a few variety of schools in Manchester. Overall, you know, for the most part, people like the schools in Manchester, and there's some schools that are ranked very, very high. So it just depends on the particular scenario and that sort of thing. But we went from Main Street in Manchester, Connecticut, up past Charter Oak, right? Charter Oak Park area, right up to Highland Park area, which again is a very, very nice area. And you see right to my right, this is Highland Park School. So we're still in the Highland Park area. All right. This is an elementary school, ranked very high. And so these here are where you get, once again, maybe the suburban village kind of feel. Some of the homes are a little bit closer to each other. Okay. But some of the homes have really beautiful curb appeal, and of course, you know, there's always homes that need work. Some of them are really, really close to the road, and some are not. I mean, you can see that this road at one time was probably just a 1-lane road. Then they changed it to 2-lane because it's so close to the school. Then they put the emergency or side shoulders here, right? So somebody's burning some wood over here today. Look how beautiful some of the flowers are, some of the trees are. Now, this is an exciting area of the race because this is the area where it's really leveling out, okay? You're getting closer to being done with the 3rd mile, all right? Maybe you caught up to some of your friends. Maybe some of your friends caught up to you. It feels, now I know I'm probably wrong, but it feels like there's a few more extra bands on this road, Porter Street, when you're running the race. It feels like you're getting closer to the finish line. But the heartbreaking thing to me is that you are getting closer, but you still got a while to go. You know, you still have a solid probably 1.5 miles to go. So, you know, you're not really there yet, but you feel like you're getting there. All right. So, you know, of course, if you're in the home for a market in Manchester, I'm that local expert. I'm ready to help you out with that every step of the way. We're here. Really, you know, this is a town that I'm in once every other week. You know, probably drive through it, of course, every other day. But I'm showing houses in here every 10 days or so. And right here, we're coming up on it, my friends. I know you're excited. I'm excited. That blue line in the road. All right. And this told us, boom, we just did 3 miles. All right. So we did a solid 3 miles. What do we have left to do? 1.748 miles to go. So we're gonna actually pick up the pace of just a little bit because this is a stroll with Rosa. This is not a run with Rosa, right? If you want to do a run with Rosa, I mean, I gotta start training for that. I'm not gonna embarrass myself on that, right? But we're kind of going through here. For those of you who might have missed the beginning, what we're doing, I'm gonna give you again, I'll give you a little bit of history on this. Right now we are strolling with Rosa. The episode is the Manchester Road Race, which is held every Thanksgiving, and we are celebrating Thanksgiving in July. Now this Manchester Road Race, we're going right through the route 4.748 miles. Okay, most of the proceeds are going to go to muscular dystrophy research and about 18 other local charities. Okay, the race begins every Thanksgiving morning at 10 a.m. They easily have, for the most part, over 10,000 runners. I know there was some times where they had up to 15,000 runners. If you're interested in this run, just to share with you what's going on in the community, you want to make sure that you register quickly. Don't wait on it, because if you wait on it, you might have problems getting your bib in time. Maybe it gets sold out, which would be something else. Right now we're going through Porter Street and Adelaide Road. We're going through that intersection right now. We just finished 3 miles. We have about 1.5 miles to go, give or take. You can see here, we're kind of going at a pretty good pace. And the reason why is because it's nice and level. And there's a little bit of inclines here and there. There are a few little declines as well. But, you know, we just got through that 3rd mile. We had some water. Maybe we had a a little bit of protein, right? Maybe we had a little granola. I know, you know, some of the runners would be like, no, that's not what you have. Well, whatever you're into, maybe you had something to give yourself a little bit of extra energy. Those big runners, those big time international people, they're doing it in you know, 6 minute, 5.5 minute miles, quick. I'm doing it in 10, 12 minute miles. And we're really just having fun with it. Heading down Porter Street. This is the route of the Manchester Road Race being held on Thanksgiving, but this is Thanksgiving in July. All right. So again, this is that neighborhood that's mostly suburban type of feel. Some of the homes you might, every now and then, you're gonna find a home that's older, that's more historic. But many of these homes, some were built in the 1920s, right? Some were built in the 1930s. Some were built in the 50s. It's a good mix of single family homes. We're coming up on the intersection of Porter Street, Wellman Road. It's a level area. It's fun. It's exciting. Most of these homes, like we said, the average home in Manchester is selling for about $303,000. But that includes everything. You're talking everything from mobile homes right up to mansions. The average price per square foot is $208 per square foot. But that includes everything. Homes in these areas, if the home is in good condition, right, the mechanicals are in good condition, we might be able to sell for $260, $275 a square foot. All right. Beautiful little area. All right. Has that nice neighborhood feel. When you talk about walking scores, this is that neighborhood that has awesome walking scores, right? We're within 1.5 miles from downtown Manchester. We're within 0.5 mile of a good restaurant, of churches, of schools, okay? There's all kinds of different things going on around here. It's a diverse neighborhood, right? Diverse. In fact, look at this house. Pitkin, 1780, right? 1780. This was part of the Manchester Historical Society. All right. So again, some of the homes, I could probably find you a home that was built 20 years ago, and then I can find you a home that was built in 1780. Isn't that interesting? All right. Again, this home right here, look at how beautiful, gorgeous it is. Has a little circular driveway in the front made of concrete, beautiful hedges, such a gorgeous, relaxing front porch, right? Built in 1910. They keep it so beautiful. Very, very nice. Kudos to that owner. All right. Gorgeous homes. So, we're running the road race. We're strolling with Rosa. It's Thanksgiving in July. We're about almost 3.5 miles through it. We have to go 4.784 miles to finish this road race. It's Thanksgiving Day. Let's pretend it's 50 degrees, even though a lot of times it's much, much colder than that. And it's a sunny day. And we're enjoying time with people that we love. We're enjoying time with people that we care about. It's the holiday. It's Thanksgiving. And that's one of the things that I think have made this race so much fun. I think that's what's made the town of Manchester to be such a great town, because there are so many community events. Even at Manchester Community College, they have a band shell there where they'll have maybe a band that's playing for 4th of July, and they have the 4th of July fireworks, right? There are so many different events and concerts and fun activities in Manchester that allows us as human beings to connect with each other, right? It doesn't always have to be on this square box that we call our cell phone, right? It doesn't have to be on the square box playing video games with each other. I mean, I guess that's a form of connection, don't get me wrong, but that in-person connection, looking at someone face to face, right? Spending time talking with them, being in the present without any distractions. I'm gonna take a quick little detour. Right now, we're at the corner of Porter and Parker Street, and I just want to show you this really quick. This is not part of the Manchester Road Race. I'm taking that quick little detour. But what this is the Pitkin family, Pitkin Glass Works, right? So this is part of the Manchester Historical Society. Okay, you can see it's fenced off. The Pitkin Glass Works, right? They provided gunpowder during the Revolutionary War. Captain Richard Pitkin and his sons were granted the opportunity to manufacture glass and snuff, the chief product that was part of the West Indies trade. And this factory was actually built in 1783, the Pitkin Glass Works here in Manchester, Connecticut. So we took that quick little detour, my friends. Ready to keep on going though. That that just took like a minute and a half off of our time. Look at that cool little buggy. All right, that was pretty cool, right? You don't see those quite often anymore. A lime green one too. But we're on the Manchester Road Race route. We're on a stroll with Rosa. We are right now on our 3rd mile. We're probably a little bit further in than 3.5 miles. We're coming up on the Autumn Street, Porter Street intersection. I've sold quite a few homes down that area. Very, very nice, beautiful area. And what we're doing is we're feeling the excitement on this stroll with Rosa. And the reason why is because we are getting closer to Main Street. And when we see Main Street, we know we just have to put in that last push. We know that we're getting closer to having a refreshing beverage at the end of the race, seeing our friends, seeing family, maybe meeting new people. We know that we're going to spend the rest of the afternoon enjoying time with family, hopefully most of us. And that's where I was going. Look at how gorgeous, right, this colonial home is. Brick, beautiful, wonderfully kept, gorgeous landscaping. All right. Again, we're coming up on the Porter Street, Lancaster Road. One of the things with Manchester is they have a vibrant downtown, and they're always looking for ways to keep it local, keep it strong, getting good tenants in there. Like I had mentioned earlier, there's a great couple of restaurants, couple of pizza places, which I love. There's really some fun breweries there. So if you're ever in the area, you want to come over to Manchester, Connecticut, come take a look. All right. So we're getting there, my friends. We talked a little bit about the real estate data on what's going on in Manchester. So like I said, over the last 12 months, there were 518 homes that have sold in Manchester. And that includes everything from multi-family homes to mobile homes to condos to single family homes. Okay. The going price per square foot on average is $208 per square foot here in Manchester, Connecticut. And if you are walking this or strolling or running this Manchester road race with me, now you know there's a slight decline at this point. All right, we're coming up to the Goodwin Street, which is a small little side street. Right, we're coming up to the Goodwin Street intersection. It's a decline. There's a band playing. Usually there's a cool rock band playing around this area. You might have had yourself another quick little drink of water, and you're saying to yourself, I'm getting there. We're coming up on the 4-mile mark soon. Let's go, let's go. And for those of you who are watching, of course, your likes and your shares are always more than welcome and very, very much appreciated. All right, to my right here, you're gonna see that we're gonna come up on an area, East Center Street, that has a restaurant or two, has a package or liquor store, has a, I think they do Reiki or yoga there, has an accountant office, has a bank close by, has a natural health store. So there's quite a few, again, walk score. When we think about, well, what can we walk to in Manchester, this area, you have a great walk score. Okay, to my right, here is a memorial for the Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Desert Storm, Bosnia, Somalia veterans, to those who served, dedicated to our armed forces. So, you know, this is a patriotic town. Okay, Manchester, like I said, has been around for quite a while, and there were a lot of it was an industrial town during the revolutionary days. So for those of you enjoying this stroll with Rosa, the Manchester Road Race Thanksgiving in July extravaganza, you know, your likes and shares are appreciated. And what I'm appreciating right now is the first of all, your comments. I really appreciate them, and I'm trying to answer some of them as much as I can when I see them. And the little breeze, you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm coming up on the Porter Street, Westminster Street, Westminster Road intersection. Probably hear it in my voice a little bit, but we're getting excited, have a little breeze. It's relaxing. Beautiful little pollinator garden right there. Look at how gorgeous that is. In fact, I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Okay, once again, there's Pastrami on Rye, a great place. Dollar Tree, yoga studio, pizza place, convenience store, a beautiful little pollinator garden. That's right here on East Center Street and Porter Street. Okay, and again, when it's Thanksgiving Day morning, at this point, you're feeling good. You know that you're in the last leg of things. You know that you're going to finish strong, unless you're one of those people that really did not do a great job of preparing the night before. Because I've seen a lot of people right at this point really kind of quit. You know, we're getting close to the 4-mile mark. All right, maybe you're 40 minutes in, give or take, and your body's starting to feel it a little bit. But there's a little bit of a decline still. East Center Street is a pretty large road, right? As you can see, a pretty large street. There's actually 2 lanes on each side, but it's all closed up, right, during Thanksgiving Day. And there's plenty of businesses here. There's a dentist, there's a law firm, and a lot of times you're gonna see people right in the front of these businesses having parties for their clients. You're gonna see some bands. You're going to see people playing DJs with music. You're gonna get another refreshment stand over there, right? And to my left here is the East Cemetery, which there's people from the 1700s buried in here on our stroll. So, and it's a pretty large cemetery. And some of these, like I said, these graves, you know, they're almost 300 years old. So if you want to know where I am, right now I'm on East Center Street. Not up to Main Street yet. This is the East Cemetery with graves that are probably, a lot of them, close to 300, 250, 300 years old. And then the deeper you get into this cemetery, there's also a lot of graves that are, you know, very, very recent, which is sad, of course, as well. All right, my friends. We're on this Manchester Road race trek. I'm feeling good on this stroll. For me, it's in the high 80s, it's humid, and it's pretty much reminding me that, hey, Rob, if you want to run this on Thanksgiving Day, you need to maybe start getting a little bit healthier and getting a little more serious. But you know what? Thank the Lord above, I'm feeling pretty darn good. And you know what I see up ahead is I see a blue line. And when I see a blue line in the ground, on the ground there, that's telling me I'm hitting a mile marker. So I'm close by Brookfield Street and East Center Street. We're almost up to Hull Street, and you see here, well, what's that telling you, my friends? There we are, 4 miles. We are 4 miles in, which means we only have 0.784 miles to go. You can see we're getting into a little bit more of a downtown section. We're on East Center Street on the stroll with Rosa. For those who are joining us, we've been talking about real estate. We actually have the Tri-County Alliance of Realtors over here. Right, so that's a place that I'll stop in every now and then, say hello. There's some apartments over to my right there. All right, just to kind of show you. Hey, I love to show you that R for Rob, right? For Rob Rosa. Oh, yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's supposed to be for realtor. No, that's for Rob Rosa. Come on, you guys. Right? Here's a little pantry. Sometimes people will put food in there, which is nice. And you see a lot of these old, large homes, they've turned them into commercial office space. So if a lot of times, if you're looking for a little room, maybe for your office, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, that might be the opportunity for you. All right. So we've done over 4 miles so far. We are having a great stroll. Thanksgiving in July. We have 0.784 miles to go during Thanksgiving. At this point, we would be, the excitement would be overwhelming, but we're still not there yet. You know, until we take that left turn on Main Street, we have to realize that we still have more than a half a mile to go. And sometimes, my friends, that half a mile to 3/4 of a mile, you are going to feel it. Sometimes it's going to be the thing that can make you or break you. You know, across the street there, we have an insurance company. We have attorney offices. This right here is Spruce Street. This is the intersection of Spruce Street and East Center Street. And Spruce Street is not mostly, but there's a lot of multifamilies and apartments down there. I had mentioned to you that I did own quite a few multifamily investment properties at one time. And I owned quite a few down that street, down the neighborhoods in there, which there are a lot of multifamilies. Right here, this gorgeous home right here is actually a funeral home. All right, so that's a little bit scary. A friend of mine just beeped at me. All right. I know a funeral home, I shouldn't say that, it shouldn't be scary, but I think you know what I mean, hopefully. At this point, you might be thinking to yourself, can I make it? Should I call my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, and my girlfriend? Where are they? Are they gonna be at the finish line? Should I tell them where I'm at? You know, there's been quite a few times where I ran it with my children, or my children were waiting for us at the finish line, and man, did we have a great time the rest of the day. You know, my wife was sitting there waiting for me, and I was like, where are you? Where are you? I'm getting ready. I'm almost gonna take a turn. I'm almost gonna take that final left down Main Street, but we're not there yet. You see, one of the heartbreaks we talked about Heartbreak Hill, but one of the hard things about the Manchester road race is after you hit that 4 miles, you're pretty much thinking, man, I'm done. It's 4 miles. But that .784 will get you. That .784, it just feels like it's you know, it's the thing that's going to break you if you don't give in. Across the street there's a Silk City Wine and Liquor, like I told you. They're one of the nicknames of Manchester was Silk City. A lot of industrial mills that would make silk. We also have a physical therapy, home care, Pizza Mia, great place. Newer owners. I was in there quite a few, well, maybe about 6 weeks ago. Said hello to them. Great people, great food. And Cafe Aura. Has anybody ever heard of Gino Auriemma? Right? The coach for UConn, University of Connecticut women's basketball. Well, there, my friends, is one of his restaurants. I don't know how many restaurants he has. That might be the only one. But that's Cafe Aura, which I know at one time he owned it or was the major owner of it. All right. To my left here, we have tax services, Victory Chapel. We're feeling good. We pretty much only have maybe a third of a mile, give or take, left to go. Okay, there across the street is a Masonic Hall. All right. For me right now, it's an exciting Saturday afternoon because I'm getting ready to go celebrate my father's 80th birthday this evening. Thank God. Praise the Lord for giving my father all these years with us, and he's doing pretty well. But I'm making pretend it's Thanksgiving in July, and I'm trying to stroll through this road race, the Manchester, Connecticut road race for you. Like I said, if you wanted to know more info, you can go to manchesterroadrace.com. That's going to give you all the info. If you want to know about me, you go to CT, like Connecticut CT, realestateselling.com. Here we are at the wonderful intersection between Main Street, Center Street, East Center Street, and here is Main Street in Manchester. When you turn this corner, I can promise you, my friends, on Thanksgiving Day, you're going to see thousands and thousands of people. You're going to feel the excitement. You're going to hear music playing. You're going to hear all the people cheering. And it just, I mean, right now, I'm just getting excited about it, and it's the middle of July. And there's nobody here cheering me on. Well, maybe, hopefully you are. And I'm cheering you on because hopefully you're doing, on the Stroll with Rosa, 10,000 steps. To my right there is the Manchester Library. All right. And like I said, on Thanksgiving, you'll be coming down this hill and you'll be feeling good, and you'll be taking every stride as much as you can. And even on a day like today where there's, you know, just a regular old Saturday in July, there's still a lot of excitement going on here in the middle of Manchester. Here's the Manchester Public Schools office right here to my left, 555 Main Street in Manchester if you needed to go there. There's a park across the street over here, downtown Manchester. All right, and we are at the last leg, my friends. We've probably done about 4.5 miles to go of the Manchester Road Race. The total is 4.784 miles. All right, so stick with me as we get through it. You know, I have a couple of friends and my wife, and we just always we have so many beautiful memories of the Manchester Road Race. Like I said, Manchester is a great place to live. We're selling houses at about, you know, the average, like we said, is $208 per square foot. But if the home is in good condition, in a great location, and priced correctly, you can talk $250, $275 per square foot. Definitely a great opportunity. Maybe if you're looking to move where you need a single floor living, there's plenty of ranches. Here's a cool place called Center Scoop. I know the owners there. Here's another place called El Sol de, right, which is a great place. And there's just a lot of cool little cafes, restaurants. There's Center Perk. Once again, I know those owners as well. And we are in the heart of Manchester. We're coming up to that one location where we have the finish line. And we are pretty darn close, my friends. And the excitement is definitely building up. So hopefully you're sticking with us, and we are ready to roll here. All right, my friends. So right now, we're almost at Brainerd Place in Main Street. All right. We're getting into the heart of downtown. We're finishing up this final leg. And I can tell you, my friends, right about, we're getting there, right about here is the finish line of the Manchester Road Race, right? All right, my friends, let's go. See, they're excited too. We just had Thanksgiving in July. Very exciting, lots of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed, you know, having this time with me every step of the way. I can promise you, my friends, that if you did this stroll with Rosa, the Manchester Road Race Thanksgiving Day in July episode, you did it with me, got your 10,000 steps in, you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, a lot of memories, right? Scooping up besties and engaging. I hear you, got you, right? I had a lot of fun. It was really just a great time thinking about all the wonderful memories and really all the great things that the town of Manchester has to offer. So, you know, once again, God bless you. Of course, if you ever need help with finding a home or selling a home or even commercial property, in fact, that commercial property back there, there it is. I actually was involved with selling that years and years ago. I leased out quite a few of these rental spaces over the years, and really have helped out a lot of people in town of Manchester. So if you need me in the future, just give me a call. God bless you. This is Rob Rosa. Hopefully your favorite real estate broker. Signing out, my friends. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.